and roller cabaret and lounge in beautiful downtown Toronto. It's the Bobcast. Tonight's musical guests, Secret Broadcast. Also appearing, anybody Bob wants, because it's his birthday. And on Bob's birthday, Bob gets what Bob wants. Now, here's the man that puts the Bob in Bobcast and the birthday boy himself, Bob Zegarini.
If I wasn't on so much medication, I'd be in tears right now. How are you, everybody? What a, I have to say this. I'm going to be speaking over about the last 21 weeks that we've been doing this. One of the things that I love about doing these shows on Monday nights is the lack of a generation gap, because we have old people here, like such as myself, and a couple of other people in the audience I won't mention. We have some middling people here, like the band's parents, for example, show up occasionally. And then we have young people who come here to deal drugs to us older people.
Which is the best part, yeah.
Oh, wait. You got it. Anyway, I love all of you, and I'm so glad, and I'm glad that you're here for not only the Bobcast, but to celebrate my birthday. I appreciate it a lot, because who knows how many more of these I have coming. Everybody say hello to Roxanne Tellier.
Good evening.
Roxanne is not aware of this because I kept it to myself, but the reason that I asked Roxanne to be my co-host is because basically she smells like bacon.
Well, indubitably.
So that's how you doing, hon?
I am well, and I'm so happy to be here for your beer day.
My beer day?
Your beer day.
Yeah.
Happy beer day.
Thank you very much. Happy beer day to you. How long have we known each other?
Oh, that is really scary, because that's dating us both.
About 35 years, actually.
More than that, actually.
40 years.
Yeah.
And in all that time...
I'm not even 40 yet. I don't know how that happened.
No, I know. But I just want to thank you for being here for these things.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You add a lot to the Bobcast.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to bring up before this thing spins out of control?
Explodes?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want? You want to talk about Miley Cyrus? Do you want to sing a verse, that song you wrote?
Oh, my rewrite?
Yes.
Okay. I'm embarrassed to even talk about this because everybody is, but hey, why not? Why not be part of the crowd? The VMAs, and for you shut-ins and stuff that don't know what that means, it's the
Video Music
MTV
Awards.
Video Awards.
Video Music Awards.
The VMAs.
Yeah.
I haven't watched an award show in about 35. Ever since the Beatles lost out to Louis Armstrong or Hello Dolly.
I know.
I haven't watched. So
I haven't been the same myself.
I haven't watched in like 4 decades.
I know.
Because I can't bring myself to do it. I can only afford so many television sets and so many bricks. So I didn't watch it, but of course today on YouTube and Twitter and everywhere else, the Miley Cyrus debacle was everywhere.
The
You couldn't avoid it.
The twerking that shook the world.
Well, and here's another thing, twerk. Why don't they say her pretending to get boned in the ass? Why don't they just come out
That'd be so much simpler.
and say it instead of
I know.
twerk?
Be succinct.
Why
Get
do
right
the kids
to it.
have to make? Why can't you say laugh out loud instead of LOL? You know. Although I do love what's that one that I really like? Ermagerd.
Yeah.
I like that. I think and herpaderp. Those are cute. You know. I also like put your hands up where we can see them. Anyway, so Miley Cyrus does a number, and I use the expression loosely, on this show that, and I feel sorry for anybody that's on these things. They have this history to live up to. For example, we can go way back to Madonna. Again, before that, really.
Elvis.
But Elvis, well, the Elvis the Pelvis.
That's right.
You know, the sexual innuendo of the hips. Sounds like an episode of Dexter.
Yeah.
The sexual innuendo of the hips. One man. So we got that. So it's a tradition in rock and roll, especially, to make an ass out of yourself every chance you get, and this is to get attention. So on television, especially this generation that is completely absorbed with celebrity and popularity and taking it to the edge, man.
Oh.
You know, the edge, which is where nothing is. ever.
I'm expecting somebody to actually amputate a limb at some point.
Oh, I'm expecting to see a faux gangbang and an actual blowjob
That would
on
be cool.
the VMAs next year.
Yeah.
I figure we're going to get one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or maybe a bank robbery. Something fun.
Yeah.
For the kids. So she comes out last night and she's got a top. Let's see. She's got a top Lady Gaga's meat dress.
Right.
She's got a top Janice's nipple at the
Right.
Super Bowl. I mean, if I were a 19-year-old girl, I would be hard pressed to come up with something to top this.
Exactly.
So Miley steps out of I don't know what it was.
A giant teddy bear.
Was it a giant teddy bear? Because it looked like Puff Daddy to me. I thought she stepped out of a giant Puff Daddy.
Could have been.
Okay. So she comes out and she's wearing this ridiculous drum majorette thing from Idaho or the Midwest somewhere, and she's not twirling a baton. And I noticed that every time she stuck her tongue out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds, but it never came out of her. It was always to one side, like there was something in her mouth that prevented her tongue from coming straight out. So I was a little perplexed by that. I thought maybe she was actually having sex with Casper while she was doing it. Anyway, so the whole thing goes from there, and she ends up in her flesh-colored underwear at one point, and then she twerks. Poor Robin Thicke. This kid doesn't even know he's won the lottery. You know, he's got an accidental hit record, and it's never going to happen again. And I know his dad. I know Alan, and I know Alan's going, Robin, don't expect this to last too long. And I know that's how. And he comes out dressed like Beetlejuice. So the whole thing.
Oh, that's
already,
what it was. I thought he was a referee.
I think I'm having an acid plaque bash.
Backflash.
Yeah, the meds have kicked in. I think I'm having an acid flashback.
Cool.
Because I'm going, okay, here's a woman in her underwear sticking her butt in Robin Thicke's hoo-hoo, and where can they go from there? And then, of course, it did. And she kissed a giant woman's rear end, and then she took one of those We're Number One foam fingers.
Which I must say, X Prime has brought a couple of those.
Oh, yeah.
They will later be demonstrating a portion of Miley Cyrus's dance.
But those foam fingers have two fingers out, so they could do the Olsen twins with those.
True.
Or those,
and they have.
Or those two creepy girls at the end of the aisle in The Shining.
Oh.
But she just had the one finger foam finger glove.
Yeah.
And she was putting in places where her gynecologist doesn't even go. So anyway, this is the crux of this thing. And she's licking her eyebrows and her tongue's always out one side of her, and this is going on and on, and they show in the audience look like they're watching somebody drag a dog behind a
Will
pickup.
Smith's family.
Well, that was for Lady Gaga. Somebody put that reaction together with Miley because it made sense. Anyway, I've gone on far too long.
You
about
have
this
indeed.
Because I'm appalled. Anna John, Anna Georged, Anna Ringoed at this entire thing.
All at one time.
Thank you. Always nice to know the drummer's awake. Anyway, to get to what she asked me about, I am rewriting a song. I figured I'm going to cash in on this. What the hell? Why not? Because I love people that are desperate for attention. I have grandkids, so I understand the entire motivation.
Of course.
So I'm rewriting a classic Beatles song, and I got the first verse tonight. And basically, can I do this? Give me a G.
A bouncy G.
Oh, yeah, I can do it there. So you don't have to play. Just let me embarrass myself on my own.
Have you forgotten the words?
Yeah, hold on a minute. The beauty of podcasts is I can edit out the big pregnant pause here.
It works for me.
It's all been done before. You look just like a whore, Miley Cyrus. Let's say those, and I got a little bit more. Madonna did it best. We saw Janet's test and the Super Bowl, and it's going to go from there. So that's. I think that's
beautiful. Touching.
I think that's
a touchy little ditty. I got to read you one thing.
And then I'm going to pretend to ride a horse like Gangnam Style because
very cool.
Why not? I'm selling out. Is what I'm doing.
I got to read you this. This Steve Tilley from the 24 newspaper.
24, the newspaper
Yes.
that you read in the morning for free.
Yes, and I read it in the evening for free.
So what did Steve Tilley have to say?
He had a lot to say about her, but this is the best line. Not even Canada's own Robin Thicke, who appeared to have just got off work at Foot Locker, could pull Miley back from this dark place. I reflexively covered my own genitals to shield the eyes of my unborn children. Now that's good writing.
That is excellent writing. And speaking of great writing, say hello to X Prime, everybody.
Hi. Hello. How you doing, Bob?
You guys wouldn't do what Miley did on the NBA.
Oh, they would too.
I don't know.
I think Gab wouldn't. I honestly believe Gab would go out there in his underwear.
along with me.
Yeah. I think you could pull that off. Not with Robin Thicke, though.
I only watched about 10 seconds of that video. I missed the whole good part.
Oh, there is no good part. But it is
Guess
like
that's good, then.
it's like driving down the highway and seeing an arm laying in the middle of your lane. It's pretty
It
interesting.
cannot be unseen.
Now you guys, you're young, hip, with it guys. Did none of you watch the VMAs?
No. Because we're young, hip, and with it.
And that's why I love you.
Yeah.
That's why I love you. And
I heard
Gab,
about it.
I love your outfit tonight. The dark red shirt, the lighter red tie. It makes your ensemble makes a statement. I am really enjoying.
You like that?
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
ahead of
good.
my time.
It's better than the shorts and the
Sandals
show
and
me your
socks.
hoo-hoo T-shirt you wore last week. And Neil, pants without a pattern on them. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I forgot my golf pants today.
You did you?
Just for you.
That looks good.
Yeah.
It's good. And Steph, as always, and Steph, by the way, come to find out, he's incredibly talented. Because earlier,
Takes a little time.
yeah, no drum fill for that. Okay, it was a small one. I had never heard you play acoustic guitar before, and when I was going back and forth tonight while you guys were doing sound check, lovely guitar player, even more so than the fabulous job he does in the X Prime when they're playing the rock and roll.
The X Prime.
The X Prime.
And Phil, look what you've done. Muzlan, where's Muzlan at? Muzlan, stand up and just do a twirl here. Muzlan is dressed. Look at this. It's in tribute to you and your damn bow ties. Look at that.
Bow ties are cool.
And Muzlan is in a hell of a great band. Imagine a klezmer band or a bar mitzvah band on acid. And that's not an exaggeration. They're called Jumple, and they're absolutely amazing. And
I've heard of them.
one of these days, if one of the guys in the band quits having kids, we'll have them on the show because they're really a lot of fun and everything.
That's great. Yeah, that's
Okay,
sweet.
so can you favor us with a tune?
Sure. Yeah, this one's for you, Bob.
Is this the one I asked for earlier?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh no,
this is another one for
because
you.
if you don't do the one I asked for earlier, there will be hell to pay.
Okay.
Oh,
so
you mean do it now or
No,
later in the show?
do
Okay.
what you're planning.
okay.
I am
All right.
not gonna pee in your dojo. So just if you have plans, I want you to share them with the class.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, X Prime.
Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. There's a party going on around here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too, 'cause we're gonna celebrate this Bobcast with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's celebrate now and have a good time. Celebration. Let's celebrate now and have a good time. It's up to you to come together. Come on, girl, what's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! Woo-hoo! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! Celebrate good times, come on! The party going on around here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too, 'cause we're gonna celebrate this Bobcast with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's celebrate now and have a good time. Celebration. Let's celebrate now and have a good time. celebrate. It's alright. We'll have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We'll have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Celebrate good times. Come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on. Come on, celebrate now. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Now I'm all teared up, damn it.
Oh gosh, can I tell you a little story about that song? That always comes to mind when I hear it. A million years ago, when male strippers first hit the scene in some of the clubs.
Why did I not see this coming?
Well, I'll tell you. My mother-in-law took me to a club to see some male strippers, and this was in Pickering. Actually, I was I was actually playing in the band that was between the strippers. But anyway, so this one particular stripper came out, and what was really exciting about this guy was not only was he wearing sensible shoes with socks, which makes it a little hard to undress, he had a speech impediment. And so he came out to celebrate. And as he danced down in his sensible shoes, and he might have been wearing a bow tie, he was going, "Come on, pick a wing, celebrate. It's your turn to walk." And I flash back on that moment every time I hear that song. And looking at you right now, what can I say, Gab?
Well, I do have aspirations to be one of Toronto's best male dancers, so.
Well, as long as you get the sensible shoes happening,
Yeah,
we're rocking.
I'm wearing slippers right now, actually.
Cool.
You know, I was going to say how much I love you guys and appreciate what you do, but after that, I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that. That was fantastic. I like the way you wove the name Sigourney in there. That was...
That's
it's
pretty
great.
pretty cool.
It brought tears to my eyes, really. Of course, at my age, everything brings tears to my eyes. I can't watch a Subway commercial with it. I want that sandwich.
By the
That's
way,
true.
Bob,
I cry at long-distance telephone commercials.
Who doesn't?
And I fucking hate Bell. So. and yet I tear up when I see him. You were saying, Phil, I'm
Hallmark
sorry. I didn't mean to...
Tonight, there may be some weird phenomena that may happen.
Uh-oh.
Because my drum stool broke on the way here.
Uh-huh.
And the lever's broken. So there may be a point in the show where I just drop. So I don't know. That might happen.
Actually,
and if it does, it'll be very interesting.
What a cheap way to get us all to stare at you all night.
I'm
No.
kind of...
The bow tie wasn't working enough anymore. It's gotten old, so now I need to
He's in
find new
danger
ways.
now.
He's waiting for his stool to drop. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
I'll have to flush it after, otherwise it may smell.
I do
That's obvious for you.
I do that every morning. And you know, with cell phones, you can take them everywhere. And more than once, I've said I'm waiting for my stool to drop when I get a call in the morning. And at least I get out of bed before anything happens, which I know. I know.
We're all grateful
if
for.
you live long enough, apparently you don't get that luxury of getting out of bed before you have to go. But no, that was fantastic. But everything that you guys do, I am just a big fan. But that had extra energy tonight. That was like a bowl of sugar pops. That was really good. Speaking of a bowl of sugar pops, I haven't had one of those in a long.
So you want Subway and Sugar Pops. Someone go get this guy some
What's going to
Subway and
happen
Sugar
later
Pops.
is our pal, Little Chick Cupcakes. You know, the lovely woman that comes every week with sugar-infused wonderfulness. And by all means, go to her website, because this woman makes sugar candy cake cookie treats that'll blow your little minds right out of your head. She made my birthday cake, which there should be enough for most of you, but I'm taking the top layer home, so don't fuck with the top layer. because it's made with Splenda, because she understands I'm a diabetic kind of guy. Oh, and give generously to the Canadian Diabetic Association, please. Maybe some of that will,
Roll
find
down.
its way to me. Yeah. She made this cake tonight that her take, and it's always her take. She has an incredibly gifted brain when it comes to making treats. It's an Italian wedding cake. Instead of rum infused, it's bourbon infused, and it's covered in a beautiful buttercream. I say.
Aww.
So, and there will be a
Just like
small
you.
slice for everyone in this room tonight, just like me. Yes, I'm covered in buttercream because I stood too close to the band.
That happens every time.
Speaking of bands, we have a guest tonight. Friday night, I came down here to Cherry Cola's Rock and Roll Cabaret and Lounge at 200 Bassett Street, just above Queen Street West, to see. And I don't get paid a cent for that. To see Cherish and to hang out, because this is my favorite bar on the planet, because it looks like a 50s Vegas brothel. Anyway, so I came down for the Music for the Masses thing that happened on Friday. It was a wonderful night. Down at the Bovine, they had the Mahones and a bunch of other great bands. And they had Robin Black was here, who's an old friend, and some really, really good local bands. And I mean, when I say really good, these are the people that deserve to be on radio, besides the Hiccups and Sizzle with That Steak that are on the radio. And I saw a band I hadn't seen before called Secret Broadcast. And I was blown away, man.
Cool.
Because, like you guys, they took me someplace. They gave me a feeling of atmosphere. And the atmosphere they gave me, and I don't mean this to be retro in any way, because they're very modern, was the Whiskey A Go-Go in 1966 in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, California, on Sunset Strip, which I heard that was the period of the Doors and the Mothers of Invention, and all these great rock bands were coming, the Byrds, all these people coming up off the street in L.A. And when I heard these guys on Friday, I thought to myself, so we should have them on the show, and I see a big future. And I was with Nathan Quinn from E1, the big record and movie people here in Canada, and he's very interested in them, and told me they're doing a new album and stuff. So they're on the show tonight. So I want to introduce to you Secret Broadcast, and one of you is coming up here to talk to me for a few minutes. So let's hear it for Secret Broadcast, shall we? The two guys that aren't sitting here can get up there and start putting the stuff together on the stage, by the way. Keith and Matt.
Welcome.
Okay, you can't nod on the radio. Yeah, I mean on a podcast.
I was waiting for you to finish. It's your
I
birthday
never
and all.
finish, so just you have to leap in. And I have to tell people this. The worst offenders, by the way, are old radio guys. They can never get it right. But yeah,
Get right up to it.
Speak into the microphone.
Okay.
Well, don't eat it. Don't do a Miley Cyrus on us. But get right up to it. And if he's going to talk, same thing. So,
All right.
so which one's Keith and which one's Matt?
I'm Matt.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm Keith.
Yeah, I know that too.
All right.
But the people, I just wanted to clarify. So I saw you on Friday night. You guys were on fire, and you have a brand new guitar player
Thank you. Yeah.
who fits right in. And what was the name of the band he was in before?
Savannah.
Savannah, that's
Yeah.
right. So I had seen him before. We had met JC, right?
Yes, JC.
He wants to
JC's
talk.
the man around here, it seems.
Oh, yeah,
This is the
he hangs
first
out
time
here.
we've hung out with him here when we're not playing.
you?
Everybody knows him.
Yeah, because he comes here when he's not playing.
He's the man when he's not here, too.
Well, he's cool.
For the record.
He's a handsome fella.
He's okay.
Him and Gab could probably do pretty much every girl on Queen Street. If they went.
That's why we hired him.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He's a teen appeal.
Yeah.
Miley's calling him as we speak. All right, let's talk about the band. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, you really do. I got the vibe. Now, the music is nothing like that, period. But the feeling of it, the atmosphere of it really is. I like the fact that it's rock and it's melodic, and your voice is absolutely cool.
Thank you.
Well, don't thank me.
You
Thank-
do have a good voice. You do
Thank
have a
your
good
thank your
voice.
parents, because that's who's responsible. But how long has the band been together now?
A few years now. We actually formed out in Calgary. I'm from Toronto. Moved out to Calgary. Started the band out here. Now we're back in Toronto.
So Keith, you're from Calgary originally?
No, I'm from Waterloo, Ontario.
All right, well, hey, Waterloo. I love
Yeah,
Waterloo.
who
Waterloo's
doesn't?
good. So you're out there and you came back here, fired all the guys from Calgary.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, except for one.
Except, which one is that? What a point.
John, he's over by the bar.
What, the drummer?
No, he's over there. He's sipping Shirley Temples.
I'm the drummer. Let's just get that straight.
You got fucking Sulu in your band. I like that.
I don't get that.
You're gonna
That
you're gonna get your own ship someday. I promise you. You got it. You guys don't go to the movie? No, you wouldn't. You're too young to go to a movie.
I'm sorry.
No, don't never be sorry. So who writes in a band?
Primarily me.
Primarily. So you're the guy. You write the lyrics and the chord changes, I would assume.
Yeah, and then we put it all together,
And
make it
the
sound
guys
like the band.
contribute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I don't want to take too much time with you tonight because there's a bunch of people I want to talk to tonight, aside from yourself. But I want these people to hear a couple of songs from you.
Sure.
That to be as knocked out as I was. And by the way, Nathan Quinn, unless you're, if you're not aware of this, very hot in a band. Thinks that going out to Seattle to do your album. When do you go to Seattle to record the album?
A few weeks now.
A few weeks from now. And who's the producer again?
It's a guy named Adam Casper.
And he has done.
He's produced all of our favorite bands, and I mean literally all of them: Nirvana, Queens of the Stone Age, Soundgarden, Foo Fighters, Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder. He's won Grammys, and he's pretty damn cool.
You're aware of the fact that he would not be recording you if he didn't feel that you had an opportunity to have that kind of career.
I literally have 3 tattoos of the albums he's done.
Well, you're an idiot.
I just wanted to look cool and fit in, man. I'm sorry.
Realize that it's better to do those in henna at the carnival because you're going to hate him in about 30 years.
Long-term
go,
thinking's not my strong suit.
I know. I'm teasing you, and you know that. I don't have to apologize. But if this guy is willing to go into the studio with you, rest assured that if you keep being as good as I know you are, you're going to get someplace.
Thank you.
We threatened him, too.
Yeah, and right now, I'd like you to get someplace onto that stage.
All right.
And you are a tall son of a bitch. How tall are you? I'd say 6'6".
Yeah, maybe 6'6" in heels. 6'5".
Give me the microphone. I love kids today. I just love them. I don't understand why my people hide under their beds when young people are around. See, not all kids this age are going to put a cap in your ass, whatever that means.
Well, they're not done yet.
Okay, you guys ready to go? Because I'm going to give you a really cool, it'll be short and sweet. I'll do it like Bill Graham used to do it. Bill Graham, the guy that had the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco, was the coolest guy on earth. He'd get up and make the announcements between bands. Don't leave your car's lights on anymore because it causes a problem. And then he says, and don't eat oranges if you don't like acid. And then the band would come out, and this is how we would introduce the band, and you deserve this kind of coolness. As soon as the drummer finds his drumsticks and whatever else he needs.
Way to be cool, Keith.
Yeah, well, hey, it could be a lot worse. I was in a band with a drummer that couldn't play unless he put on chapstick. Yeah, you ready to go, Keith? So you just put down the knitting and pick up the sticks.
Yeah.
He's practicing he's actually flexing right now and stretching for his twerking for the performance.
Well, it's important that people go out and twerk once in a while, whatever the fuck that means. Are you ready to go? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, secret broadcast. That's it, kids. Play. Wonderful. It really does bring me. You have to understand that Los Angeles in the mid-'60s was the most incredible place to be. It wasn't about celebrity and TMZ and all that crap. It was actually clubs much like Queen Street Strip and Cherries and Ossington Dundas now in Toronto. You could walk down the street and the house bands were the Doors, Iron Butterfly, Alice Cooper. I mean, it was just all happening, and that's how I feel. Here, like with X Prime and hearing bands like you. And I get a great Doors vibe from this music, but not sounding like the Doors, the same kind of feel. There's something about it that I really love, and I love your music. So, one more. We got time for one more tune from you. Would you mind?
Of course.
Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Schoolyard, you made it so hard to look at anyone but you. Jump rope and playground, no one could touch you. But now that's all I wanna do. I remember the moment when I told myself I'd give up recess for you. Lunchbox and massive, chain and glasses, tell me that you need it. I'll tell you, I really like you. I'll tell you. I'm sure you can't see it, but I tried to leave you some. When I pull your hair, you ran away until thought you would read between the lines. I remember the moment when I told myself I would give up without trying. Let's take our chances, make it last. So tell me that you need it. I gotta tell you, I really like you. I gotta tell you what I give.
Secret Broadcast. I have no doubt that we'll be hearing a lot about you come next spring.
You're very sweet, Bob.
Thank you so much. I'll give you my number later.
All right.
Seriously, I honestly feel everything right about what you're doing. So, Secret Broadcast again, please.
Thanks for having us. Happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you so much, and we'll have you back on when you get done with the album. Okay, when you come back from Seattle, we'll have you on again.
By then, I'll have my twerking down.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Quickly, I want to get a couple of people up. Scotty, come up here. Scott Carpenter was a big deal on CKLW for what 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
And then he
11 minutes.
A mainstay on Chum in Toronto, and Chum was the God radio station.
You remember? That's impossible. You can't remember that. You're way too young for that.
Well, these two guys aren't. They know.
Oh, they're old farts. No,
She's
they
just
remember.
lying to you because she finds you attractive.
Oh, oh, you do? Oh, I love this already. I miss this. You have no idea.
Scott, you're a musician as well as a great voice, and he did voices on He-Man, Master of the Universe.
Yeah, if you ever heard, anybody ever see He-Man?
Yeah.
Okay, if they ever run reruns, I don't even know. Does that?
Oh yeah, plenty of reruns.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Really? No, seriously.
Love it.
Well, if you ever see somebody that talks like that and says, He-Man, don't draw your sword. Oh, my God.
That's me. And then
there's an old fart like this and said, oh, He-Man, you're an asshole.
Anybody else that you can do for us? Because I'm loving this.
Well, now there's this one feller who used to work in a wine store and used to sell this here. I believe it's called Chardonnay. It's right good, too. It's got a good bite to it, you know.
You sound like Scruffy on Futurama. Scott,
and I can also do this if you want me to. I can.
Nobody wants you to
That's
do that.
That's He-Man's voice, right?
That's He-Man. I'm the master of the fucking universe. and you are really the ugliest ass I ever saw in my life.
You should see Miley Cyrus's.
I don't watch that.
The rest of us did.
I'm sure you did.
Nobody here watched that show, and yet that's all we're talking
something,
about.
I just saw some stuff on, I guess it was in the newspaper or something. It was in the Washington Post about it, and they'd written some damn
Washington
story.
Post.
Honest to God, there was a frickin' editorial about Miley Cyrus doing whatever the hell that was. I have no frickin' idea. Now, this guy, you say you know. Oh, they changed the band, didn't they? Oh, it's
happened.
Whole different deal. Well, anyway, apparently...
How can we live? Okay, the Washington Post. The government of the United States of America is in Washington. Washington Post, like a New York Times, fairly well-respected newspaper.
Yeah.
And so what do we have? Problems in Syria, Obama in trouble, and oh my God, did you see Miley Cyrus
exactly
last
right,
night?
though. I'm not serious. You just hit it right on the nose. It was. I mean, it was right in the editorial, on the op-ed page. There was a damn thing about Molly, or what's her name?
Yeah,
Molly
Cyrus.
Molly Cyrus.
Now, you're a drummer as well, because I played. You played drums with Seb Anello and I last night, or yesterday rather.
Yeah.
And you're a very good drummer, by the way.
Thank you.
Not as good as Phil here.
I'm way better
in the
than he
X-Prize.
is.
Well, maybe in your heyday when you had a day of hay, but
that's true.
But it's so great to see you,
Thank
Scott,
you, buddy.
because I've always been a fan, and you're such a good guy, and a friend of Dougie Thompson's.
There's
who,
Dougie,
who, by the way, tonight, Dougie's a good friend of the Bobcast. He's been on the show several times, and will be again, and would be tonight if you get off his ass and walk up here.
No, he says he's not going to do it.
But do you notice
when he puts the hat on, he will not do it.
He reminds me of Ian Fleming / Tom Wolfe when he dresses like this.
It reminds me of Ian wait a minute, Ian Thomas with that damn hat on.
No, he's just cool. Is he not a cool guy? So you're living in West Virginia.
No, I live in Virginia. That's
Virginia.
the one south of West.
What is West Virginia like? The little retarded family or a little
not as much
retarded
as you might
sister
think.
of
Where
Virginia?
I live in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Now that there is real retarded down there.
Is it good down there?
Oh yeah, you want to go down there? You get you some shine down there.
Can I
I'll tell
get
you
some
right.
shine down
You
there?
get there, yes sir.
Can I get a good deal on a Chevrolet pickup down there?
You
Because-
get your 1973 GMC pickup for about $1,700
Now,
right off the lot.
You know what I'd really love to find would be an El Camino. It doesn't
They got them
no.
down there. They got all the kind of El Camino down. They got them all
Can
restored.
you find me one that doesn't have blood on the bed?
No, they
in
all
the
got
back
blood
there?
on the bed.
Well, you know what?
And you don't want to know where it came from, neither.
Well, hell no, I don't. Not from my sister wives, that's
Well,
for
hell
sure.
no.
See what we've done there is you created.
We created morning radio on a podcast.
Only we were funny.
Yeah, well, of course. Well, that is a big difference. Yeah. In today's.
What do you think about what's the state of the radio right now? In 60 seconds, what do you think about today's radio?
How about 2 seconds? It sucks.
Okay, good. From a guy who has won awards and was on to probably the greatest radio station in the history of the Canadian radio industry.
I would say, of all, and I've been on a lot of them. I was on CKLW, I was on WYNY in New York.
How many times you fired in your career?
Oh, Christ. I can't even begin to count how many
See?
times. See, the bottom line in radio, for anybody that doesn't know, is you got to get them before they get you. The second you walk in the door, you work on your resume, get it sent out and ready to go, because if you don't cut their throat, they're going to cut yours.
Well, I love two sayings about radio. One is mine, but I'll get to that in a minute. But my favorite one is, you cannot call yourself a broadcaster unless you've been fired at least 3 times.
That's right.
And my favorite one is, every ad to get into radio, to apply for a job in radio, says you must have passion. So you can't get a job in radio without passion, and you can't stay in radio if you show any.
No, that's true. I mean, if you are creative, you're out the door.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's changed so much from our days. And they wanted me to talk. I don't know if you ever heard about this stunt that we did, but years ago.
Oh, tell them about the honk.
Well, they want to hear about the frickin' big honk. So
Big honk.
You want to hear about the big honk?
Tell the story.
Does
about
anybody
the big honk.
remember this from the 1970s? Dougie does. He was there
Gather
anyway.
around, kids.
Anyway, back in I guess it was 74. I can't remember when the damn thing came out, but American Graffiti was the hottest movie in North America. And I went to see it, and I was affected by it, and I thought, you know what? I bet you I can make some money with this. So I started going out and doing dances in schools, and we called them graffiti dances. And we played music from the 50s. And I actually did it, and I went and do a high school assembly the day before the dance, and I get a bunch of kids dressed up in 1950s clothing and kind of give a demonstration of what life was like back then, did a little soliloquy and so forth and so on. Well, anyway, I was pulling down some serious frickin' money doing this, $1,000 a day doing these things. And so I was sitting in the offices at Chum with Bob Wooden, and I said, we got to do something. We can maybe make something happen with this. So we decided to recreate a radio show in the 50s style radio show on Sunday nights. And what we would do is we'd take a chart from a Chum chart from a different week in a different year, say 1957. We'd play the music from that. We tried to do the commercials. The CRTC would not let us run the old commercials.
You're kidding.
No, they would not permit us to do it. But
Bastards.
we recreated everything else, from the jingles and everything else. Well, one thing they always did in those days, they always had some kind of a ridiculous bit that they had an audience participation thing going on. And I would do one of those every week. One week I was stuck. I didn't have any idea what I was going to do. And I got into the station, and I remembered a radio station in Grand Rapids, Michigan that had a neon sign in the window, and it said honk. And the jock was sitting behind this window, and you'd see a car come down the street, hit the button, and the car would honk their horn, right? And then you could hear it on the air because it was a window right on the street. I thought, that's a great bit. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just have people honk their horns. What a simple thing. It's the simplest thing in the world. 10 o'clock, honk your horns. So, yep, good to go. Get in the studio. Go on the air, 9 o'clock. And go on the air, and I say, it's now, play one record. It's 58 minutes away from the big honk. Wherever you are, in your car, wherever you are, honk your horn. Then it was 56 minutes to the big honk. Wherever you are, honk your horn. Count it down, count it down. Well, in those days, we kept the shades closed on Yonge Street, the newsroom, so I had no idea what was going on outside. It's about 5 minutes to 10. I walk out, and I open up the frickin' blinds, and I look, and my God almighty, there are cars all the way from the lakeshore to Eglinton on both sides of Yonge Street with their flashers flashing, ready to go. And I'm thinking, oh, shit. and you gotta understand something. I had no clue that this was going to happen. I thought, do I blow this off, or do I continue with this idiotic thing? I said, I can't stop. Even if I tell them not to, they're going to do it. So I counted it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and my God, it sounded like a freaking air raid. You've never heard. The hair on the back of your neck would stand up. It was all over, and not only in Toronto, Markham, Whitby, you name it, and it was there. And of course, we blew out the switchboard at the police department. I mean, so after this, and I thought, my God, what's going to happen here? So anyway, I'm on the air, and sure as hell, here comes Toronto's finest down at 1331 Yonge Street, and on the studio door, and it's a Scottish kid. He's a Scot, and he's saying, Now, you're not gonna do that again, are you? And I said, well, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that again. And he said, no, that wasn't a question. You know. So anyway, to make a long story short, I had the riot act read to me. I mean, I'm in the office with the management at Chum and everything else, and they're telling me how irresponsible it was, and all the time they're going punching each other in the arms. Yeah, this is great, you know. And they said, under no circumstances should you ever do that again. Never do anything like. So I thought, what the hell am I going to do next week? I get on the air at 9. I get on the air at 9, and I said, last week we caused so much trouble, you have no idea. At 10 o'clock, whatever happens, don't blow your horn. And I counted it down again. And this time, there they were, up and down Young Street, lights flashing. This time we got jugglers, we got clowns,
lemonade stands,
we got face painters, you know, at 13:30, and sure as hell, boom, it did it again, and it lit the place up. Same cop comes down. I lock the door, and I'm hearing this, and I'm not letting him in. Finally, this stops knocking. I open the door, and I look out, and he's not there, and I sneak around to the newsroom, and he's on the phone, and I hear him say, no, he told them not to blow their horns. Yeah, that's probably why they did it. You mean I cannot do anything to them? Then the following week, we did the big flush, and you can imagine what that was.
The power of radio.
Yeah.
The power of radio.
It
And
was
now
insane.
what is it?
And we took it to the most outrageous extremes. I mean, I did a remote. Imagine this. You're a radio guy. I did a remote at Nathan Phillips Square in front of 70,000 people.
70,000 people.
It was the graffiti, what was it? The Greasers Ball and Graffiti Parade. And we had thousands of cars, these old 50s cars that these guys had customized, all the way from Yorkdale Shopping Center, all the way down to Avenue Road, and I think it was Lawrence. I'm in the front of this parade. Cop comes up by me and said the last car just left Yorkdale. Get down to Nathan Phillips Square, 30,000 people already there. You know, and when they saw those cars, they just came swarming to the cars. We had to hit the gas and get the hell out of there.
Today, people do not understand.
They have no clue
what radio was to a community, how plugged in it made everyone.
There you have the essence of the greatest. You referred to it as the greatest radio station in Canadian history, and it was. I'll tell you why it was. Because it was a local radio station above all else. Chum was Toronto radio.
This city has always had a history of radio stations that played local music.
That's true.
That were in the clubs presenting bands. That we had our CFNY, our Q107, our Chum AM and FM.
That's right.
We always had radio stations that were part of the community.
Absolutely, and that's
now
the essence of it.
There's not one damn station anywhere that's part of anything except Ryan Seacrest's bank account.
No, that's not true. That in the States now, in the smaller markets.
Yeah, smaller markets.
Smaller markets.
Give you that.
You see it.
94.9 here in Oshawa. Same thing.
Yeah,
they're plugged in.
Yeah.
We need more of that in the major centers.
Old farts like us, we're the only ones that remember how to do it.
You know what? That's not true. There are some young people out there that know exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
They need an opportunity from the old farts that are,
programming them
making
and
radio
them
into a joke to let them in and let them do something.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to talk to you further, but quite frankly, I got more things to do. So,
well, that's fine with me.
Are you going to come back to Toronto again? Because when you do,
we'll be
welcome
back.
here
I'll come
anytime.
back here. Half my family is here. I'm a.
Which half? The half that eats?
I hope so. I'm a Yank-Canadian, I'm
a Canarican. You're a Canarican.
So it's kind of half and half. So, I'll be back.
Well, it's a pleasure. We've been Facebook friends for a long time, and it's such a pleasure to meet you, Scott.
Bob Segarini, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating his 110th birthday today. 110 years young today.
Thank you, He-Man.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you'll pardon me, I have to go empty my bag. Scott Carpenter, everybody. Yay! There are so many other people I wanted to talk to tonight, and we're running out of time, but we're here every week, so that'll happen. Cherish Stevenson, darling, we love you so much. The Bobcast would not exist without you. Cherish Stevenson behind the bar. And also, if you're so inclined, there will be cake when this thing wraps up in about 6 minutes. But leave the top tier alone. Top tier Bob's mine, which I'm going to just shove my face in. Which, again, brings us right back to Miley Cyrus. I had a request. Do you have another song that you want to do?
Yeah, we want to do what you want us to do.
Oh, you're not going to do one that you stuck my name in again?
No, well, we might find a way.
I forget who I was talking to. Oh, actually, it was Scott. These people were raised in French immersion, which means
full French.
Full French.
French Catholic school board.
French submersion.
Yeah, submersion, which means they shove your head into a pint of poutine and don't let you out until you speak French. Anyway, I did 5 years I won't tell you why, but I was sentenced to 5 years in Montreal, which I adored. I had a great time there. But my favorite artist from Montreal was, and always will be Michel Pagliaro, who, and I swear to you, I am bound and determined to get Michel to come down here and perform on that stage with these people, and I'm going to do that too. I will shame him into it somehow. Anyway, I love Michel, and he should have been the Elvis of Canada around the world. And these fellas, these gentlemen, these boys, our ex-prime, do one of his earliest #1 record in Quebec, and they do it in Francais. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a fine hand for ex-prime.
J'espère toujours retrouver quelqu'un qui pourrait m'aimer. Tout seul, que je croyais mes amis, ils m'ont tous laissé tomber. J'entends frapper, enfin ma chance à tourner. Ce n'est pas seulement la chance qui me fera gagner. Rouler, il est encore temps de rouler. Personne ne peut m'arrêter. Plus loin, toujours idée d'aller plus loin. C'est ma seule raison d'exister. J'entends frapper, mais je n'ai rien oublié. Ce n'est pas seulement la chance qui me fera gagner. Salaud! J'entends frapper, mais je n'ai rien oublié. Ce n'est pas seulement la chance qui me fera gagner. J'entends frapper, enfin ma chance a tourné. Je suis heureux d'apprendre que tout n'est pas terminé. Je suis heureux d'apprendre que tout n'est pas terminé. Je suis heureux d'apprendre que tout n'est pas terminé.
Thank you.
Ex-prime.
The X-Prime.
Yeah, ex-prime, they come through here, they play that song, they go home. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Bob, I like how you said our band name in French.
Exprim.
Exprim.
And for anyone listening at home, that was the drummer that sang both those songs. That's for Let's give it up for Phil.
Thanks.
It's not easy.
The drummer, he come from another place. They come the Niagara, and he do the French, and I think he do very good, which is why we don't, we not shoot him. And the boys, they're good people, and we love them. And I just got a text.
And Bob, do you want us to tell them why we have our name in Exprim?
Oh, their name?
Yeah, our name, it is French.
Their name, it means express yourself.
Oh, yes, Exprim, express yourself, but the English people, they make it sound like we are Optimus Prime's ex-girlfriend. X-Prime.
No, the Anglo, they know nothing. The Anglo, they just, it's the set.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I say.
What can
we
we
put our H's where the H's are not.
Uh-oh. The rooster says we're out of time. We're out of time. There's so many people I want to thank and talk to you, but I'll do it another time. All right, thank you so much, Brian Jadan, for even
We're gonna
one phone call from this guy, and this became possible. So, Brian, thank you so much.
Hey, Bob, I got an idea.
Yeah.
How you feeling about singing a song with us?
You feel great.
Hey, Lottie.
That's how you feel.
Hey, Lottie.
He's consulting his phone.
Yeah, I can knock a couple of minutes off the show. So.
Sure, why not? You can cut our first song out.
No, I'm not cutting anything up.
And Irma Gertz.
All right, everyone, give it up for Mr. Bob Segarini. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
My love was like a killer whale at the back, take a sail. You sail, well. My love was like a Chevy set. My brakes don't work, and my pop don't stick. Stick. Sucker, you baby. Like a saxophone.